I'll be muted.
Hey guys, what up? What up, and welcome. We have a day of hopefully not too much PoBing left. I did, I, I did get an idea today, or was presented with some tech that I could potentially use. So I am going to be PoBing that, and we'll see how that performs compared to what we were going to do before. What's up, Gravebait? Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Now, for a TLDR of what we are currently doing, we are going tri-elemental and we are scaling that with crit to try to get as much DPS as possible and as tanky of a character as possible. Right, these are pretty decent max hits, I would say, on Chains of Command because Helmet's slot is unique and so is Chest Piece, but coupled with the simple fact that flasks are off because it's not a Mage Blood, sadly. Or not sadly, yeah. I chose not to use a Mage Blood in this setup, right? And yeah. Then what we are going to be playing around with is instead of using a Void Forge, we are going to be trying the Rune Graft that makes our auras affect enemies. Running Purity of Ice and Purity of Lightning to give them more cold and lightning res. And more max res, by the way. And pairing that with a Rakiatas. Because that will make our animate weapons treat the resistances as inverted. So if they have 75 base max and then they get up to like 81 or 80, then we're effectively hitting them with minus 80 cold and lightning res. And of course, Rakiatas also just has a ton of like base damage that we're going to be trying to maximize if possible. We're going to go for something like this, not necessarily max roll, but just something like that. I feel like this is going to be one of those enchantment moments. Currently, it's 59 to 122. Though, as is, we are not going to be completely removing the physical damage portion. So, I don't think it's enough phase to warrant a Triad's grip or anything like that. But I think it does make reflect maps a bit more annoying. Well, it's not, like I said, it's not a lot of phase, so should be fine. I do think increased crits would be the play in this scenario. Reduce the flat phase we're getting, increase the base crits, and then give them the Rakiatas. Now, this obviously means we're going to have to adjust the POB a bit. And of course, it also means we have to re-include all these. Then it also means we have to turn off purity. No? We have purity of elements, we have purity of lightning. We'll need to run purity of ice because it's cold and lightning based this time around. We're going to have to turn off our curses because it's not needed. We're going to have to turn off elemental weakness because it's not needed. And I mean, they're still going to be scorched, but we're going to give them so many resistances that it doesn't matter. But here's the kicker. Here's the problem. The one problem I'm running into, and that is that if I run Purity of Elements, I will make enemies ailment immune, which means I can't shock. And there's no way around it. I would just be deactivating my shock and freezes. So I'd have to avoid Purity of Elements, which means my minions would then be on their own when it comes to ailment immunity. That is like the biggest problem of this, I think. Where is the one I'm looking for? There it is, treachery. Like that. Treachery gives me reservation and also makes them eat my auras, so they just get plus res. But I guess it's kind of fine as well. We're talking about period 2 character voices and they end up releasing this and talking about it. Talking about what?
Goblin Pet.
Oh no.
Why?
What is this?
Oh dear.
Hello, Exiles. Welcome to the first of our dev interview videos. I'm Eben. I make trailers and other marketing bits here at Grinding Gear. We're starting this series because we want to give you some insight into who our devs actually are, behind the Mark and Jonathan of it all. We've done written interviews before, but nothing beats a good chat. Today, Kane is the first brave soul to appear on camera. You might have seen Kane at ExileCon, where he talked about audio design in Path of Exile 2. So, what do you do at GGG?
Okay, hang on. So if I'm gonna do that, do I really need to go through a run through of how I started as a sound designer? Does that sound lame?
No, it's cool.
Okay, all right, do it again.
Sure. Okay.
Sorry. Well, it is a good question, isn't it? I started here many moons ago as a sound designer, sort of worked my way from there to leading the audio team, getting more involved in dialogue, and then became audio director. And in recent times, I've also taken on narrative and building that out as a department because, you know, for PoE, narrative's not really been a department as such. It's been a thing that's there and it happens. You know, there's people around, they make it happen. But now we're like actually trying to redefine what the story and narrative parts of PoE are in a way that doesn't hinder gameplay and actually just feels complementary, something that you can digest and understand. So, you know, like the boss fights, we try and pump as much narrative into those as now too, like the Geonor slam poetry, bit of that. That was pretty cool.
Our enemy endured, but soon all.
I mean, the truth of the matter with PoE 2 is the boss fights, they were transformed by the audio. Like, imagine this whole sequence of like this phase without the poem that Geonor is reciting throughout and how you can time that with the dodge and everything. Imagine how different of a fight this would feel like the first time around, especially if this fight did not have that.
How long did it take you to go from starting to just being the director of all of it?
I think it's like 7 years now.
7 years?
Something like that.
So you've been here a while. What's special about Path of Exile for you?
What's special about Path of Exile is also special about GGG, is that, you know, we kind of work at breakneck speeds, pivoting whenever we need to make sure we're doing the right thing for the moment, you know, like what players are thinking.
So you're reading reviews and you're pivoting, reading forums, Reddit?
Yeah, or just like someone comes up with a cool idea, and in larger companies that might be hard to pivot, so hard to make that work because you've got X number of dependencies on what you're doing and sticking to that, whereas we're like, nah, let's do it. It also has moments of stress and chaos, but that is part of the fun and mitigating that.
As an aside, I think I finally understand why everyone sits on these chairs like this. Because they're so deep. You can't sit up because it would look weird. You can't just sit back because it looks weird. You have to...
Am I slouching? Probably.
Most recently, your team put a lot of love into the mercenaries of Trathis. Were they as fun to make as I imagine?
By the way, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there was this Reddit post. I don't know if I have it. Yeah, I do actually. This Reddit post, someone found the Ruckus mercenary. And what is insane about this is Mark actually voiced this mercenary. So if you look over here,
What do you reckon?
it's like, I have to take up the volume.
What do you reckon?
Imgur is not the website to use for videos, by the way. It's so awkward, bro.
What do you reckon? You probably won't regret it. That's just stupid, but fine. All right, fine then. Let's go again. So, what'll it be? What the heck?
I love the voice lines, yo.
What do you reckon?
And apparently, you can also see a bunch of the other voice lines that were not in that clip if you were to go to PoEDB. So someone else, I think, linked it in here, if I can find it. Where is it? Okay, I can't find it. So we're going to do this. No. Where is the comments? There was a comment here. There. That's why I was missing. So in the audio, if you were to type Neon, you would actually get his audios.
Well, what have we got here?
And some of the things he could say.
Excuse me, who are you? Have we met before? Let the ruckus begin! Sure. Hey, what the heck? I like that.
There was one in particular that I think that just cracked me up when I was looking at this.
That's a bannable offense.
But like it's when he dies.
Yes, it is I, the ruckus maker.
When he dies, let me see if I can find it. By the way.
That's just stupid, but fine.
And that's when you put him, when you reserve him. Where is it?
Good thing I'm not in hardcore.
Yeah, this one. This is when he dies when he's on your team, basically.
I'll be back. I just gotta go nerf something.
That's the voice like he says when he retreats.
I'll be back. I just gotta go nerf something.
But yeah, I love it. Those are the kind of things that really stands out about like Easter eggs like that. I love it.
Yes. That was fun. It was like, what started
like
off as...
It would be nice to have him just for the memes. Exactly. Like if I were to find a Neon of the Ruckus, we both know that he's going to be a permanent mercenary. I don't care what he has. He's going to be on my roster. He doesn't even need to be good for the build. I'll just run him. Eventually, I'll get a good mercenary, but like for like the first week, my dude is just there chilling, following me into maps. But you know, someone else also pointed out something. This now means we have clips of Mark saying stuff on like having voice lines. So now, in theory, someone could take that and go make a loot filter with those sounds. In theory, do that.
The league will be based around mercenaries. You get a mercenary, you hire one, you'll run around with them. And then we sort of suggested the Trathis thing. It's like a place we haven't learned too much about. So we got to do that completely. Starting with we knew we needed some mercenary personalities. And coming up with a bunch of interesting personalities is difficult. Like, you get to a point where you struggle to come up with the next one. And someone posted on Twitter about one of the ambusher ones, because he just kind of speaks gibberish. And it was literally like we were just getting tired of trying to come up with it. Just like,
Wait, what?
Because he just kind of Twitter about one of the ambush. And someone posted on Twitter about one of the ambusher ones, because he just kind of speaks gibberish. And it was literally like we were just getting tired of trying to come up with it. We just like wrote any old crap on there, and he went, hang on, let's do that. I'm just mashing keyboard. So that was fun. But no, it was fun, and we sort of developed a whole like house family system of Trathans, you know, like the idea being the Eternal Empire way back when were casting out their worst criminals, sending them to a place essentially to die, right? But when they got there, instead, they did very well for themselves and sort of assembled these houses and families of death trades. So, you know, it's like Australia, right?
Mercenaries of Trathas is Australia.
Yeah, it's just,
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And they're all Australians. Why didn't we give them Australian accents?
Oh, you know, we didn't want to be too blatant with it. No, I'm just kidding. We have Australians on the team. It was just an in-joke.
Cool. On to the important questions.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Goblin pet.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, dear. Well, look, you know, we have an issue system, right? An issue tracking system, like a job system. And I get an issue for this pet that's going to, like, be a band pet and sing and stuff. So I'm like, cool, well, I'll make that as good as I can. And I was at home and I just had Mike and I did some scat goblin like vocal stuff, right? Thinking nothing of it. And Camille and Michael, music guys, got involved and added the music part, and we developed, oh shit, this is quite cool. Great.
It is a cool
now,
sound.
Like, my voice is the most hated thing in the fucking game. It's not my fault. I didn't come up with the idea, but I gotta own that.
That's the way it should be. You've left your mark where it matters.
I mean, you know, it's kind of fun at the same time.
It's pretty
like,
fun. Pivoting to Path of Exile.
I love the goblin trope and how I love the goblin trope and how polarizing it is in the PoE community. Like, you hear some people talk about this shit like it came to their house, shot their mother in the head, killed their dog, everything. And I'm just like, brother, it's not that deep. If you don't want to hear it, you have a hideout. You don't even spend that much time in town, realistically. Like, I as a minion player will end up spending more time in towns than you likely will, and I don't care. But like, they hate the fuck out of it. Like mercenary season was starting, and you just start seeing the Reddit posts pop up like, oh, are y'all gonna let us mute this shit now? Like, no, not that deep. Just go, just level or something. I don't know. Like, it is so weird. Oh, but it is hilarious seeing the different complaints on that one MTX.
Because we've been here working on Path of Exile 1, now 2.
well, yeah, I've kind of been working on PoE 2 most of the time I've been here, funnily enough. And it's still not out. No. I mean, that is the nature of making a whole new thing and pushing. I mean, it is enjoyable to work on, 100%. Like, every time, you know, working on PoE 1 is familiar, and I wouldn't say it's easy, and we still try and push ourselves, but there is a certain expectation on PoE 2 that it just makes everything a little bit more time-consuming to create. Yeah, we push ourselves on the narrative side, the story side, and dialogue. Obviously, like, the player characters are all talking throughout, trying to give them more personality, which was it's a hard thing to find the balance of when they should shut up and when they should talk. But
how do you find that balance? Because that's such an interesting.
Well, I don't even know if we have yet. So some people it is hard because through the campaign, it's interesting. At endgame, if they're constantly yapping about currency and, there are things to iron out. But that's the beauty of early access and figuring it out. I don't know, do I seem like me? Or do I seem like a stuck-up version of me? Man, it's hard.
Pretty consistent with how you were at Exile.
So fat? Fuck you, bro. Fuck you.
That's going in. That's good.
It's pretty...
What's the best sound from anything? Like your favorite sound? Take your time.
Dude, it is insane how much weight he lost. Like, this is how many years? I mean, I know stress would do that to someone, but like, god damn. Where is it? It's like here, right? No, it's not that far back.
That's good. Fuck you, bro. So fat?
Like, this is 2 years, because ExileCon was the year before. PoE 2 released last year. ExileCon was the year before, so it's been 2 years. That is quite the journey in 2 years.
It's pretty...
What's the best sound from anything? Like your favorite sound? Take your time. We can edit it to make it look like you replied just like that.
Star Wars, right? Like, pick something, any moment in Star Wars, and there's like so many iconic sounds that you just...
How do they do that? That's true.
Ben Burt, man. He's just a wizard. The lightsabers, it was all like in-world, real-world stuff, not conjured. It's pretty cool.
Do you do much of that here? Like
lightsabers with real-world sounds?
Dominic on the skills side and Michael on the music side, they've got all Eurorack sort of stuff that they use to synthesize sounds. But
hi, how's it going? This is where I make my sounds. Behind me, you'll see my Eurorack modular synth. This is where I make...
Otherwise, we do some recording of Foley and bits and pieces. For the Karui stuff, we're doing some recordings of local instruments, and yeah, we try.
we recorded a whole Kapahaka group.
We did.
Which we haven't showed footage of, but we could do that now.
We could do that.
A little bit.
We could do that.
This sounds like Tota.
We had them in a hall, and everyone was just going for it.
This sounds like Tota. Does it not? Wait.
Do that.
A little
We
bit.
could do that. We had them in a hall, and everyone was just going for it.
That sounds like Tota. I can already
Doing
picture
all
the
sorts of
Tota
things to
reveal
trial
with
the
that.
ancestors, so that will
Is it just me?
carry over into other Karui stuff. So we're trying to do more of that.
Do you have a favourite thing you've worked on so far? PoE 2?
I suppose in general, just in PoE 2, building up ambiences and the overall world building we can bring with sound and character dialogue, NPCs, monsters, all sorts of stuff. Like how that contributes to making it feel like a...
Hearing the Ice, like Bera the Ice Queen talk, reminds me of when I was testing Spectres in PoE 2. And I spent like an hour I was testing the Blood Thief Queen and how many wasps she spawns and whatnot. And the amount of times I heard her poem on repeat, because she doesn't seem to have a cooldown in between when she sings it. So you just keep hearing it the moment you're outside her arena and doing a bunch of like recording, trying to record the parameters of the test and whatnot, and then I just kept hearing that shit over and over and over. And to me, this is a me specific thing. It is 1,000 times worse than the Goblin Troll. And that was self-inflicted punishment because I was just testing Spectres.
world in a place.
Slavery will not be necessary when the tree...
The voice lines here, I think, are the most iconic in the entire campaign thus far. Especially the witch. Changed my mind.
awakes.
And, like I mentioned earlier, the Geonor slam poetry, that's an example that I'm proud of where we kind of got that happening. You know, like it's complementary to gameplay. The combat's still happening, but it's just sort of there. And it wasn't actually planned. It was just something that I was trying last minute with the actor when we were reworking.
Was it last minute fights or change? That was a really good last minute decision.
Just musicians that need more money for gear.
Yes.
Cool.
It's it's an obsession. Like if I have better gear, my sound will be better, and it's not true. Don't tell. No, just go along with them. Like
Don't tell Dominic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, yeah, nice. If you see if he's got another module on his Euro rack, if you said to him, "Wow, nice new module," he'd probably cry with joy, for being validated.
Swishes and swoops. Makes lots of noisy sounds. Explosions, swishes, tonal bells, and evil drones.
Who's that in the back?
You can create here. With these patch cables.
Do you have any cool tidbits or like spoilers or things you can tell us about?
I like how they keep cutting him like halfway to his sentence. Like it doesn't want to. Let's go. All right, you're done.
Sanctioned.
Because if you let him, he'll take up the entire video.
Share it, but we'll try. We, historically, PoE1, you're running around, you're talking to an NPC, and they do the scrolling monologue of what they have to say to you, which, is fine. That is an approach. But I wanted it to be a more back and forth conversation between NPCs and the player character, so that you get a more unique experience on a character per class of how they interact with the NPCs and what they think of what they're saying. And
it makes a lot of sense because the PCs are some of the most interesting characters in the game. Everyone wants to know who they're playing.
The characters in town are cool, but they're cooler if you involve the player character and what they think, and then you get that, because some of the player characters are a bit deranged, like the witch. So
her being able judgments and
her being able to have a conversation with wholesome Renly is just going to be fun. It is worth noting. You may think, oh gosh, I will have to skip even more dialogue. Well, no, because the NPCs will naturally have a bit less to say because they're not monologuing everything. You have a more engaging conversation about things, which is generally a bit shorter and concise, but more like interesting. So it's actually like in the testing we've done, it feels really good, and maybe we can even show a little prototype. I don't know.
Really?
Not till our ancestors took in the Val. And folks still bicker over whether that were a mistake.
I've no love for the Val, but if not for their virtue gems, our village would be a smouldering ruin right now.
The Huntress.
Aye, and you'd have died in Asmiri rather
And this
than
is
an
the
outcast.
guy that's always hunting
You
wisps.
think that preferable?
Favorite game soundtrack? Or
I mean, I always like the dialogue. So like, if you're gonna have them talk to me, sure.
I mean, I feel obliged to say Diablo 2, but
Really?
a little bit.
It's good that I specified it
It's cool.
too.
I mean, actually, I'm a big Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 nerd. Like, those were my games when I was a kid. Like, the Final Fantasy 7 soundtrack was pretty sick.
We can't play that for copyright reasons.
Nah, but
I'll believe
it's good. Look it up.
Just look it up.
Look it up, kids.
How did you end up working in the audio world? Like, what was your path to get here?
Since high school, I'd been in rock bands and things,
Lol.
doing, playing heavy metal music.
How do you go from this much hair?
Doing, playing heavy
Age
metal
is a
music.
bitch.
Yeah, and through that, I
Like,
studied
age is
audio
actually a
engineering,
bitch.
and I worked in recording studios, recording bands like here and abroad. But I'd always been a gamer, and I'd always loved that part of it. And for some time, I'd wanted to get into game audio, and there wasn't really an opportunity. But classic New Zealand, you know someone who knows someone, that whole thing. And I heard of a job at GGG, and at that time there was only one other guy here, right? So, and I was determined, I'm getting an interview no matter what. Like, that has to happen. And I don't know how it would go these days, but I somehow got Eric's email and was just like spamming him directly, like day after day, until he gave me an interview. And it was good. He was very relaxed, wearing socks only, and I mean, and shorts. I mean, just no shoes, you know, not just socks.
Very formal.
Socks,
Yep.
shorts, t-shirt, right? Was still
What were you dressed in?
acceptable. I was like this, you know. I like dressing up to come to work. Anyway, but he was very, very serious and but cool, and the studio seemed cool and exciting, and yeah, I was lucky enough to get in.
What is your favorite band?
My favorite band is probably, I'm old, you know, so I like old school metal. Like,
Giving the excuse for his favorite
just
band
like
before
80s,
the answer.
like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath. And, you know, back in the day when I was in a band, we got to play with Ozzy Osbourne, so that was pretty cool. That's my claim to fame.
Oh,
Got
shit.
to shake his hand and say thank you, and he said something incoherent and walked away. That was fun.
My final question is related to that. Would you be mad if we posted a link to your music video from 14 years ago?
I mean, no. It's so annoying, you know. Like last night, I'm looking at the questions and I'm thinking to myself, oh, you know, I have this talk like that, and I'll say this thing, and I'm all this like fun guy, and then I get here and I'm not. What is that? What is that? It's the real fucking corporate shill. What am I now? Fucking loser. 40-year-old loser.
Let's go again. That's we gotta open. Yeah, we gotta open with that. There is something about being in front of the cameras that, like,
Yeah, you just start saying stuff. You don't talk like this.
no.
Fucking.
Like, imagine if I did Build of the Week in my normal voice. Welcome to Build of the Week. I'm Eben from Grinding Games.
Welcome to Build of the Week.
All right.
So that's the build of the week guy that was asking the questions.
Thank you very much
That's kind of cool.
for joining
Thank you.
us.
I don't think I've ever seen his face.
Two flights down.
Maybe we did the shit in ExileCon.
Yeah, back to the grind.
Back to the grind. Making
Thanks.
more goblins.
That was a good video. Really like it, actually. Where were we? We were in the middle of PoBing and we were trying to remove all our sources of minus res. This one obviously would still stay, but I would still be hoping we cap on the enemy's resistances with like 80 until I can get enough effects to give them lightning res past that. That is going to be what we're working off of. Did I see 2 Crown of the Tyrants? Okay, exposure and then Crown of the Tyrants. Okay, so yeah, so look, we're starting off with 16 mil after the inversion, and I just want to play around with the idea I had. I don't think it's necessarily going to be better, but it's going to be different. But now that I think about it, I do need a source of where's hatred? Hatred goes off for purity of ice. Yeah, between these three, there's no way that this isn't going to be. There's no shock anymore for now. All right. 80 minimum. They're always going to be more than capturers, and then we inverse with Rakiatas. Is there an easy source of frenzy or power charges for AG setups? Because like I was thinking about it, and there's just no easy way. Because the next thing I would have paired with this is I would have paired Devourer of Minds, but then I would need a source of charges, and typically my source of charges would be Spectres, but Spectres aren't doable. And I can't really use Radakesh because Radakesh would work for one, but I'm trying to get max of both Frenzy and Power. I guess let's see power charge. Let's see what the source good sources of power charges are, and then we'll figure out from there. Of course, I wouldn't be getting it with Power Assassin's Mark. No, that's on kill. I can't have any of the on kill effects. Gain charges every 6 seconds. We don't have access to our chest piece with Eldritch mods to potentially give like one endurance charge every X seconds. I don't know if it has frenzy or power, but we can't do that. This is on kill, so we really can't do that either. We can't really play with our amulet slots either. Otherwise, well, then there's no point. Rings do have space, so we can, in theory. That's power charge. No. So not precursor emblems then. Charities involve the person who gets the kill. This would have been the easiest way to get power and frenzy because we're going to be getting consistent kills and hits. But the problem is it's our AG that will need to use this, and our AG needs to be the one killing for Chains of Command because that gives us a higher level animate weapon or animate guardian's weapon. Which means since he's holding a Rakiatas, which is a two-hander, we can't give him a shield. The only alternative makes me very squishy, like fucking squishy, but it would be I would have to wear Victarios and then Necromantic Aegis the shield. So I would then be able to get the charges, but that would make me so squishy because I would then not have block, I think. Or I would have some block, but not nearly good enough. I guess there's Dodri's elixir, but I wouldn't want to press an elixir just for it, and it would then wipe out my life and a big chunk of my ES. Like I don't want to do that. Like granted, I will basically regen everything back up. I don't want to do that. I guess real clash would be something, but I can't use it because it's a helmet. Helmet is a very contested spot. Yeah, okay. So far, I haven't seen a decent way to gain power charges. 149. If I had a source of 1, then I guess technically I could use grand spectrums, but at that point I'd rather use grand spectrums for crit multi than for minimum charges, you know? Power charge on crits, not an option. Power charge when you block. Shield is not available. Power charge on kill, on a kill. On crit, I'm barely gonna crit or hit. I mean, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Sent implicits. No. All right. I mean, in that case, the idea isn't in that case, the idea isn't going to pan out, I don't think, without a good enough source of charges. Like if I could give my mercenary Victorious Charity and then run Gravebinds on him and gotten them that way, I would have that would actually be something that I would want to do. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think that works. All right. If I think of something else, then I will work on that. But yeah. So far, let's just play around with something. Devourer of Minds. Power charge. Now let's just assume I had a way to give myself. Let's assume I had a way to give myself. What's what I'm looking for here? The charges. This is so far not possible, but I just want to look at numbers right now. Oh, that's why my damage number wasn't increasing. And this would be cold. We would go Ice Bites. Hmm. This is with 7 endurance frenzies. It's still kind of cool, but I'm not sold that it would be that it would compete just yet with the other setup. Where's Fist of Fire come? Oh, Infernal Cry. Infernal Cry will probably not be in the Merc for this one. Then I think this setup will also need a Triad's Grip. Now there would be any fizz. It's all converted, even though I don't think it's worth it at this level. What are the immediate problems? Immediate problem is no curse, even though we have plus curses. We have a mark already, so we can't really use a mark. I guess punishment could be a curse. In which case it would be I would think it was 21%. Punishment is 60%, right? It's 58. %23 increased damage. I guess before Void Forge, Rakiatas could be the play. I don't think it has quite the ceiling that Void Forge has. But I do see a universe where we play around with this in the medium budgets. Like fresh out of campaign, I think this is probably what we'll end up with. Maybe not necessarily in the same way it has been done. I will have to actually POB it earnestly. This is just me trying to get a feel for how well it would scale. It's not going to scale as well as this, but to get initial damage, I think is going to be insane. Because straight out the campaign, you do not have to worry about resistances. You don't have to worry about any resistance related modifier. If anything, it's actually buffing you because now they are going to be taking less damage. But they're going to be taking more damage because their max res is higher, and because their max res is higher, you're inverting even more. Inverting it even more to deal even more damage. It's going to suck to make enemies ailment immune though. That's like the one thing.
I'm back. I don't know if it's fixed, but I'm here.
Welcome back. Did this thing just try to full screen me? Surely PoE didn't just reset and give me full screen. Alright, I'm gonna need you to actually show. POE is blank for some reason. Yeah, it's not letting my mouse out. It's freaking full screen. What the fuck? All right, let's do GeForce. Let's see what the fuck is going on. Why is that full screen? Installer cannot continue. Okay, we'll try opening PoE again.
What if they fix the lag issues, like the stutter issues? Because then I'd like to actually explore Blight. Just to attempt it.
I mean, you can attempt it. Why the fuck would this be full screen? Why would that be full screen? Okay. And what skill are you planning to play? Chains of Command, Enemy Guardian, pretty much. I started twink leveling this character during the day, and we'll continue doing this for now. Do we have bitter dreams? We should have at least one bitter dream. We don't have a bitter dream. Okay. Holy shit, you go live late. I mean, yeah, this is typically my stream time. It's 6 p.m. for me. So relatively late depending on where you are. In EU, it's definitely very late at that point. In NA, depending on how much of a night owl you are, could be morning for you, technically. I promise 6 p.m. is... I mean, I won't say my day is just starting, but... I am full of energy at that point, let's just say. Two at night. Next time starts 5 hours earlier. What do you mean next time? Oh, next. Oh, lol. I just understood what she said. Lol. This is the peak stream time for me. This is when I'm most active. At this point is when I would be done with anything else I was doing. Like if I was making a video or whatnot, this is when I would be trying to finish by and all of that. Oh, welcome. By the way, Lee, have you played with Chains of Command yet? You missed it. I got on my way up from... Oh, jeez. What the fuck? That is insane. Dude, someone gambled from 1 apothecary to 6 mage bloods.
Oh, man.
Do you know what the fuck is on to that happening are? That is insane. Brother, open the door, please. Thank you. That is wait. So why keep clicking when you had the one mage blood into two mage bloods? You kept clicking. I'm proofing my... So wait, the mage blood you double corrupted for reasons unknown to me. Did it become rare? Do you have a fancy looking rare now? Is that what's happened? I mean, but you know, our friends have mage bloods too. Man kept clicking like there was no going back. But I mean, six is insane. GG's. Alcohol is not good. I mean, if it makes you poof in mage blood, it most definitely is not.
Your flesh begs to be studied.
I think I need to exile this guy so I actually see the guys I want to see in terms of...
Choose to fight if you dare.
Inspiring cry this early honestly would be really strong. Would be really strong. Don't get much for Herald of Ice.
You make my finest piece yet. Oh, such sweet suffering. Oh, all right then. I'll join you. But I can't.
Makes me happy seeing them happy right now with mage bloods. You love to see it. Now I'm grinding essences again. Welcome back. I haven't grinded essences since I got my mage blood. I don't think I want to go back. I don't think I want to go back. It's a lot of money. I just don't know that it's the most enjoyable farm out there to do for too long of a time. Like when I want to turn my brain off, I actually can do it and I don't mind it. But whenever I need to stream, if I have to do essences, it is a lot of efforts making essences entertaining. It is a lot of efforts. Like, it's way too much brain power than essences deserve. 7 days going strong, doing essences. I mean, it is really good. Oi, what is this? Do a bit strat for now. I did some abyss strat. What do you think about it? Are you playing minions? And if you are, what did you think? Because I did a abyss strat and I wasn't a big fan of having to like I actually had the space for caster mastery, but I wasn't a big fan of just sitting there casting snipers marked open chest as I ran through because like, it just felt kind of awkward.
Know what I'd choose. Target in sight.
Bro, delirium orbs are so much money if you were to focus on delirium strategy.
Yeah, but I mean, how often would you drop deli orbs?
You can shit out deli orbs.
Switch your penance brand as elementalist and haven't looked back since. I mean, I can't blame you. And since your penance brand, you actually are casting, so it's probably feels a lot more comfy. So you said you can actually print a lot of deli orbs?
Yes. These things are averaging.
But they're money. They are actually money.
15 a piece. Like, I don't even know what to say. That's insane.
Can you get, do you think you can get on average 1+ every map?
Oh, you're asking because you haven't even done it before.
No, I haven't.
You can get more than one a map. It's not even it can. It's just it's how Delhi works. Let me look up the tree again. Give me a sec.
I haven't actually like done Delhi as a main part of the strat. I've always just used Delhi as a multiplier.
Are guaranteed an orb if you do it when you're doing a daily focus strategy.
Guaranteed?
Let's just start there. You are guaranteed an orb. Yes. Like if you're literally doing a strand daily strategy, I'm not talking about daily orb in a map, I'm talking about the map has a mirror and you end it at the end of the map after you've killed a ton of shit, you are guaranteed an orb. On the tree, you can get 15, 25. You can get maybe 30% for more orbs.
Yeah, but that's not guaranteed.
This is more, it's additional.
Pain is purpose.
And that doesn't work if the area was altered with a Delhi orb? Question mark?
You can't get it, you get it when the delirium ends. If the thing was touched with the delirium orb, it never ends.
So
That's why it's
the node. Wait, I'll pull up PoE planner. Let's look at this.
I think we could have been friends.
My PoE is frozen.
asking on unending. If you're asking about unending nightmare, unending nightmare literally says delirium orbs cannot be found in your maps.
No, I was talking about putting a Delhi orb on your map.
That's the same thing as. There's no point in doing that because you get the way you get the guarantee end of a daily orb is when you're done with the delirium and you end it, and then all the loot drops from the tiles. 15 a piece is insane.
This is the wheel I've probably
Been a
just
while
not
since I've
seen.
done it.
Simulacrum splinters +1. Where is the guarantee Delhi orbs?
No, I'm saying it's guaranteed, and I'm saying on the you get additional on the tree.
Oh, just baseline the mechanic?
Yes.
What is the minimum reward tile to hit it? Delirium.
Now.
Randomly while completing will spawn, it's gonna spawn within the fog. Resume a delirium modifier. Further you go in the fog, the stronger deliriousness effect remains constant. Enemies you kill within drop cluster jewels and simulacrum splinters. If you kill them inside the bar, reward the fills. Building bar complete will increase the counter. Do not grant rewards at certain levels. All reward bars increase in levels simultaneously instead. Higher percentages of delirium increase both monster damage and monster damage reduction. So Delhi orbs can't drop from delirious maps.
Yeah, it'll still be self-sustaining, right?
Mm.
Because they're used to make delirious maps. So when someone's doing a strategy where they want delirium orbs, it means that they're doing a strategy where, like, they're doing mirror, they're generating as many reward tiles as possible, maybe with the scarabs. There's a scarab that gives you like more reward tile per scarab, and then you're basically killing a lot of mobs going through the map, and you're ending the mirror, and then the orbs are dropping.
Yeah, but I haven't seen anything that guarantees the Delhi orbs though.
I mean, if you want to test it out for yourself, you could force delirium on the map and try it out yourself. If Rashram was here, he'd be able to explain it better because I think we both have farmed this like in the past. We used to both farm essences and delirium in yellow maps like early league just to like make currency.
Yeah.
And it's cool because we're just killing shit. It's essences. We're just killing shit. And at the end, we kill the boss. We end the mirror. Orbs drop. Sim splinters drop. And you're literally building wealth with that while also doing essences. It used to be what we used to do.
I might try it. PoE still frozen. Jesus. Okay, so I have to just close the game is what this means. I haven't, but I've heard about it. Open chess mastery. Yeah, Casa mastery. I mean, Casa mastery helps a lot with the Abyss strat, right? Without it, I wouldn't touch that strat with the 10-foot pole. People who are doing it without the Casa mastery, kudos to them. I could never. Essence farm is reserved for audiobook time. Pretty much. Like for me, I can do essences if I'm watching something on the side. Or I don't know. Just if my mind is not focused on the game, then 100% I can do it. I can do it for as long as I need to. But the moment I'm streaming, I can't exactly do that. It becomes so mind-numbing at that point. I become very, very aware of every set of 20 maps I do. Very aware of like when I don't get corrupted essences and when I do. Oh, I thought this guy had endure. He doesn't. Whatever.
Pain is purpose.
I lost. That means it's yours.
They did QOL improvements on breach with the drops, then immediately add Abyss treasures. Holy. I mean, I think Abyss has been here for a bit. It's just instead of Abyss for your I guess large number of monster multipliers for big drops, people were using other strats instead, which were better. But as those strats have gotten nerfed, the goalpost has been moved from different thing to different thing, like from strong boxes to Abyss to this to that, and now it just happens to be Abyss, and Abyss just happens to suck at, you know, Abyss just happens to suck at it because you have to click so much. Strength stacking, Molten Strike, was that you said? Do I think it would be good? I mean, I don't know much about melee, but I hear strength stacking is in a good spot. If you have the currency to put into it, then you probably can't go wrong with it. But I will say, like, Molten Strike, depending on the Molten Strike you're going for, might have a minimum budget you want to have to feel comfortable with. Now, I'm not much of a Molten Striker myself, as you might imagine, so I can't tell you what point that is. Arcane will probably be in a better spot to tell you than I would.
Little Molten Strike gamer.
Try not to deliberate too
now for clarification, are you asking about of Zenith, or are you talking about just base Molten Strike? This guy has Rallying Cry, Grace. I mean, he's better than my current guy. Zenith.
What's the budget?
I think the budget is yes eventually, but for now, what is your starting budget? 270 divines.
Yeah, you can do 270.
The fact that this guy has wiped everybody out makes me very scared.
You might not be able to start with a helical at 270, but you can definitely start with some implicit rings, increased strength implicit rings. The problem with increased strength implicit rings is they are very hard to craft, right? Because you're not starting from a fracture or anything. So you're basically going to strength, essence, spam till something good, and then you're gonna have to protect and reforge. But apart from that, gearing Molten Strike is not bad. Connor Converse has a video on the budget. I don't recommend the lowest budget of that build, but I do recommend the next one after, where he uses replica Oberons when he puts that into his setup. Yeah, highly recommend it.
Gene, I am
and it's
building...
very playable without Mage Blood. Sorry.
No, it's the Mage Bloodline. I assume you know he's the person that deleted his Mage Blood, sadly.
I didn't actually know that. It's nice. I've heard a lot about you.
He double corrupted. He double corrupted his Mage Blood.
Hoping to quit the league or what? Just like not on purpose. You clicked the wrong item or?
He was drunk.
Oh my god! Never drink again. Never drink again.
Jane, I am building an Anime Guardian Chains of Command build. I POB'd yesterday, so it's going to be elemental crit this time. Lastly, I think I made poison elemental chaos. This time I want to go crit because I think there's a lot of like, because I think for once we can actually use unique helmets and unique chest pieces and still come out relatively tanky thanks to mercenaries. So I feel like if there's any league to build it, it's this league. So I sent it in POB and I was like, I liked what I saw.
There she is, my work in progress. Let's see if Rayclast has been good to you, witch.
Molten Strike of the Zenith is definitely uber viable with investment.
As a side note, yeah, Nimbus is pretty big to start. So if you're counting the amount of money you have for the budget, you should just count that you're probably buying in Nimbus as well, because it was insanely strong before because of their return proj. And just if you want to start at a decent budget, I highly recommend Nimbus. So whatever your budget is minus Nimbus, and then everything else is pretty straightforward.
I got 270 div when I dropped my own Nimbus, and he has the replica.
Yeah, and you have more than enough, friend. Yeah, check out Connor's POB and yeah, I hope you enjoy.
Where the fuck is Clarissa?
I guess any final note I have, in the POB, it's really easy for you to focus on strength and not get attack speed. Molten Strike has really bad attack. Like, playing that skill with really bad attack speed feels so bad. And you don't want to do that. So.
I did talk to Clarissa after killing the guys.
Take your trinket then.
Freaking Clarissa.
So you have to go all the way back.
Good thing is that
Clarissa walk of shame.
This is the first time it's ever happening to me. It's the first time, like I in my how many years of playing PoE, my 2+ years of playing PoE, that has never happened. All right, Clarissa, before you told me what you needed, I have his bracelets. Don't ask me how I know that you needed the bracelets. Just take it. No questions asked.
You know what a side note is?
What?
I feel like it's really easy to. I've been on PoE Builds Reddit a lot recently. Mm-hmm. Honestly, just spending a lot of time replying to people who have questions about Forbidden Right, because I kind of feel like I understand the build.
Okay.
And I'm realizing that a lot of people who have a certain budget and want to start setups like that, like they don't really know. Like, it's such a generic question sometimes, but like, I have this amount of money, can I? Well, you can if you craft every gear, but if you want to buy, certain things, it's going to be expensive, right? Like, I feel like it's always such a dynamic question, which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
That's just that I had.
Like, when it comes to builds and pricing, it's like, depending on the build, depending on the niche, you might be paying too much of a premium to get those items if you're not crafting yourself. And like, as an example, just for minions in particular, Ray Spectre is honestly even more popular this league, but like on leagues where like it's not, you want to buy a +2 Ray Spectre properly rolled boots, stuff like that, and you're not crafting yourself, you end up paying a lot more than you need to, just because there's like only one guy or two guys selling it.
Yep.
And it's like, if you just crafted it yourself, you'd probably pay a fraction of that cost. Like this league, there's more attention on it, which means there are more crafters on it, which means you actually end up spending less. But it's just something I have noticed making my own builds over the years, because I always go for like off meta stuff. I make my own stuff, so like when I make stuff, there's typically no attention. I don't even bother looking at the market. Most times I don't even bother looking if it's niche enough. You know, if I want aspect of the spider gloves with certain resistances, I'm not even going to bother looking at the market. I'm just going to craft it myself. And I'm sure most of the time, like there's sometimes I'll probably end up losing money because there's someone trying to offload whatever they made relatively cheaper. But like I think most times I end up saving money just because a lot of times like you just don't get that.
I'm with you. Yeah, when I look at a POB, I look at, yo, what can I craft? What do I not want to craft? And that's usually how I judge the cost of the POB. It's like, I might see something that might be 40 divine weapon or something on trade, but like, that doesn't bother me because I'm like, yeah, but it's like a 20 divine craft if I know how to do it. So that's how I judge budgets, which I think has changed, like, played the game more.
You're being asked Forbidden Rites or Molten Strike?
Holy. I'll be honest, I make decisions like that based on what I want to do. I really wanted to do Abyss, and you can't really do Abyss without Caster Mastery. And so because of that, it was Forbidden Rite. If you're looking for something new that probably won't be here next week, then it's probably Forbidden Rite. Because Coiling Whisper Tech is dead.
I mean,
so yeah.
Coiling Whisper is from the expansion, so it won't necessarily be dead, but will it survive?
I just think the ease of proccing the Soul Leader and how it's just an insta put on all self-cast builds. Like that's not the philosophy they have, right? There's no way.
I mean, I agree.
So if that's the case, then Forbidden Rite 100%.
I am Forbidden Rite right now, and it's too strong and it makes stuff boring.
Holy.
I mean, how much juice I put in your content? Because this stuff is too. I mean, it's a strong build, but if stuff is too easy, add more juice, and see if it's still too easy. I face tank Ubers without his sweats. I stand still in fear. I mean, that's kind of the goal, isn't it? That's kind of where you want to be, right? Like, you want to be there eventually if you can.
Hold still now.
So are you looking for a weaker build? Another Basilica T16.5 selling for 3D.
Oh damn. I actually saw that. I saw one of my 16.5 for 3D today. As soon as I got on too, so I was like, shit, I gotta double check. Cause it's like, cause as soon as I sold it to that guy, someone else hit me up for the same one. So I was like, huh. I wonder if I don't know. That's kind of because they've been up since the change. So
yeah, I mean, it's only going to get rarer, honestly.
And I'm only gonna put the price on the tab up. Plus 1D every 4 days.
Don't do that, chat. You end up never said, unless you can run it yourself.
This is Chris's vision. This is Chris's vision. Do it.
No.
Chris would have wanted this.
What aura do I want to use straight up? I think I want to use the Spectre leveling until I get to a point where my anime guardian can actually use decent gems. So I guess starting out, I should be using a Wrath gem. Should use Wrath. So there's no Wrath. Hey. All right, in that case, pick up Purity of Elements because I will use that.
Good luck.
All hail Chris. I mean, Chris loves friction in PoE, like unironically. Like when I watch a Chris interview of like the David Brevik from D2, and he mentioned one of his fond memories in D2 being where loot was free for all, and he got the item before the person, and I'm like, that doesn't sound fun to me. That just sounds, maybe it's because I don't like confrontation that much, but like that sounds stressful. That sounds like I might leave it on the ground just to know how to deal with it, and I would really want it.
This is not a challenge, but I welcome it nonetheless.
You're just
Indecision is
oh determination. We have Grace and Rallying Cry. I think we're fine.
a swift choice speaks well of you.
Exile.
Be on your guard.
Ouch, you hurt. Do these mercenaries just be wiping out my zombies? I look left, I look right, my zombies are dead.
How it's done.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Oh jeez. All right, so we've seen where what's his face is. We now need to find where the quest objective is. There it is. Okay, now I think I am at a point where I can use the Astromantis. Actually, no, I don't think I'm at that point yet. What level is Triad's Grip? $32. So I'm 5 levels away from it. A Triad's Grip will switch. Triad's Grip, and I think I get a Bitter Dream to Twink. But then I'll need to pick up a Crush Claw. Either I do Crush Claw, I do Frost Bearers, but I think I really like Crush Claws. And I mean for Twink leveling specifically.
I'd love to see the insides of this spell. I can't abide.
Think your
housework.
god's watching? Then you're a greater fool than even I was.
I'm Extrath the militia. You're as good as dead.
Infamous Toxicologist. Don't I already have one? That was kind of meh. I think what I need to do first and foremost is I would like a toxicologist, not toxicologist, the despair guy. Is it Spellslinger? I forget the one that comes with despair, but that one, because I think initially on a lower budget, we're either going to do Rakiatas or we're going to do Echo Forge, and I'm undecided as to which is better. Honestly, honestly, it might be a Rakiata's angle on a budget.
I like a dash. Believe me, not a.
But I'm not entirely sure. Because here's the thing, with the Echo Forge or just phase bases, we can easily get everybody on doing pure chaos damage, specters and non-specters alike, and we can also get free weather with ascendancies and whatnot. Like it's really strong. But the alternative is just not caring about resistances. You don't care about curses for the most part. There's a lot you wouldn't care about with the Rakiata setup. And Rakiatas itself is not that expensive. But neither is Echo Forge.
I heard people, a good amount of people also started the Rakiatas on their setup.
Yeah.
For Chains of Command, because it's really good for the budget.
Yeah, because like for the Rakiatas version, that it's just you just need that and you need a rune graft. And you don't even need the rune graft. Rune graft just increases your damage. Okay, let's look at level requirements, I guess. What level do I need to be to use my Anime Guardian and Chains of Command? Rakiatas. Level 48. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. Mask of the Stitched. $58, but we can use a Lear cast before then. Yeah, we can use a Lear cast. Garb is 56. I want to start off with a Garb of the Ephemeral. Actually, no, he doesn't use the Garb. He uses Explode Chest. So before Explode Chest, what can we use? Realistically, we can just use a no Garb doppelgangers, guys. Or a Grot Call spell. This is 68. 38. Okay, so Grot Call spells is probably the better choice. 38. So the highest level we've seen so far is still 58, right? Gravebind. $59. Okay. So I think that about, and then Scorch Boots, Scorch Boots, Scorch Boots. I don't need Scorch Boots. No, but it would help a lot. Legacy of Fury. 69. Oof. Windscreen. 33. Now we go to the Anime Guardian chest. Gem. And we look at max requirements 58, level 10, character level 50. So at character level 50, we should be able to start using our Anime Guardian. But the problem is we can't use Chains of Command until when? I wish they would reduce the level requirements of Chains of Command. Level 70. This was the problem I had the last time I leveled the Chains of Command setup. Is I basically just had to go the entire campaign and whatnot or something else, and then switch over. But I guess I could, in theory, have my AG set up before then on maybe a damage link or something. I just use AG. Or I could wait until Chains of Command. I'll probably wait until change the command before I deal with him. That way I'm not restricted on any.
I killed the ones who choose quickly. I'll tear you apart. Ah, fair's fair. It's yours now.
You either master nightmare or it masters you.
There we go. The next floor. We have the space for an extra Spectre now. Let's get some accuracy, shall we? Well, first let's get some attack cast speed, then we'll get some accuracy. Actually, no. Our priority should be getting reservation efficiency.
Then you're a greater fool than even I was.
And if you want to do that again, but you can level Rate Lord Spectre super fast. What level is the requirement for Rate Lord? I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it, to be honest. I don't care too much. $34. I could do that. I have a Rate Lord. What Spectre would I want to do? Do I go Defilers again? I have a Tabula Rasa. I could do that.
When I'm ready and not before.
Of all the worlds you could have conquered, you had to choose mine. Such power wasted on a feeble imagination. It's too late. I'll mourn your...
Regifilers will probably be the best option, to be honest. And the reason is simple.
Damn you!
Frostbearers aren't the tankiest. So using them with a level 1 gem, probably not worth. They just end up dying, or you end up losing a few just in passing, which wouldn't feel great. Let's see, uniques, Rate Lord, level 34. You are correct. I do need 4 ghastly eye jewels, but we do still have these 4. Oh god, level requirement is too high. We just have to buy the ghastly eye jewels then. So 4 of them, ghastly eye jewels, slap on things here. Okay.
Be careful, yes?
Rigor, give me my XP or my points.
Goodbye, Exile.
Which means we don't need accuracy anymore.
Talakora.
At this point,
you stand before the gates of the Lord's labyrinth. Within these walls, the Lady of Justice doth preside. The goddess is watching.
all right, let's get our zombies up so that Izaro actually has minions he could kill, as he do usually be doing. Surely I don't die. Wait, why did I lose 2 zombies then? Realistically, at this point, I should just have...
Commit to your course. You are inexhaustible. You are not an emperor if none will kneel before you.
We'll do that just so we can self-sustain on zombie life and not have to resummon them. Our SRS is going to... Wait, why do I have 5 and 3? Do I have 2 SRS gems? What are these? Oh, summon phantasms. Why do I still have summon phantasms? I need to take a look at my gems. I really do. Like, I should much rather have elemental focus at this point, which I think I had just actually haven't deleted.
When the time comes to strike, an emperor strikes without hesitation. The emperor beckoned to entertain the world that is dance with death. Withstand the siege.
Oh, watch it learn.
Was my damage better with summon phantasms? Because it looks like it was.
Claw your way to the top.
Probably because of the flat cold damage.
You are inexhaustible.
That this provides.
This empire remains filled with emperors in waiting.
And the fact that this is level 1 is not helping anyone. Why are you still level 5? Give me a second. I do need to get water. BRB. Okay. I am back. Where are we? We're now waiting to
Selling
Zara
scarabs.
to hopefully
Well,
not
I'm
die.
trading scarabs.
What's that? You're individually trading scarabs?
No, like I'm
Bulk?
winning them.
Good luck.
It's actually surprisingly fast.
Good luck.
I've got the multiple containment.
Good luck.
Let's just do it this one last time before we, so we can say we tried.
All I'm gonna say is the problem is never in doing it the first time.
Oh, watch it learn.
The problem comes in knowing that okay, this is what this is the economical decision, but then not being able to get yourself to do it. So you just never do it.
Containment.
Why are you blocking my way? Here's a fun fact about me when I'm doing lab. I really hate being bonked on the head with the big smashing trap that bleeds you. And not because of any reason other than it just looks like it fucking hurts. So I don't want my character to go through it. Like, even if it didn't do much damage or I was immune to bleed and all or something else, I still hate eating it. Like you just the other traps are like I could stab my character with spikes all day. I don't care. But that one that just comes and smashes your head? Nah, that should look like a death sentence.
You must navigate your empire through troubled waters.
I should have gotten a curse before doing this. Did I? No. Will I?
Is to act.
Surely you're not going to do any slams, right? But I don't think his arrow. I mean, Merc Lab does slams, or maybe he does.
Oh, my wounds require mending.
What the fuck? Oh, it was my mercenary that sounded like that. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Give no quarter.
Yo, SRS, I'm going to need you all to do a bit more damage, but then again, y'all are not surviving because of these guys, I assume.
Give no quarter. The trap of tyranny is
Ow.
inescapable.
But we beat it.
Before your emperor, you are worthy. Before the goddess of justice, you are worthy. Receive
Are there any good transfigure gems this late in the league?
gifts and rise ascendant. For this is the ending that we all deserve. Embrace.
Yeah, we have more life for our zombies now.
Shall we continue?
I need to get a wand. A minion wand.
Watch yourself.
Just something that is better than what I'm currently holding.
Watch yourself.
Can't guarantee minion any stats. But what I can do is this. I can do this. Minion damage is, please don't be an egregious level, 24. Okay, I can do that. Give me that 4%. Yeah, 3. I want full blue, so just give it a blue. All right. Time for Dominus.
Hey, but it's a lot easier to do this shit on my meds. That's for damn sure.
What did you say?
It's a lot easier to do this shit on my meds.
Lol. What Abyss?
The like the scarab things.
Oh. Yeah, I could not. Okay, we'll take that. Level 30, we're almost there.
Remember, Dominus, what goes up must come down.
Let's get some zombies, shall we? Four levels and we get to use full specters, and then from the moment we get to use full specters, we no longer need to worry about summoning anything, no SRSs or the like. Though I guess we would be -2 specters, so we'd be on 6. 6 defilers should be more than enough, I think. Only 6 link to clear campaign. Pretty sure. Even without Doriani.
I no longer need fear. Destiny is seen to that.
Always crits. I need to check who is cheaper between Rakiatas and Echo Forge. That's something else I need to do. Maybe once we killed Dominus and we were in Act 4 town, we'll check.
You'd bite the master that called you here, witch?
This is going to be a painful fight, I think.
Oh, handle this yourself for the moment.
Yep, my Merc is already dead. Lol.
Submit, heretic!
Have you ever seen the true face of God, Exile?
The touch of God! Die!
All right, Dominus.
This world is an illusion, Exile.
15% shocked from shock ground.
No one will cry for you, Dominus. Not as... That water just reeks of corruption. Let's see where it comes from.
In a few levels, we'll have a bit more aura reservation, and with that comes Wrath aura.
Be on your guard.
This looks like someone, like a mercenary shop. Where on earth is said mercenary? Like a war priest. Huh. So does that mean, is that because I resurrected my mercenary?
You stain the ground with your presence.
See? Same tent. War priests. Did they move? Why the fuck was that one there?
You stand at a crossroads.
I mean, this is Smite. Smite would be nice to have. Purity of Lightning early on is also not bad. Dominating Blow, because why not? It has a minion ring, but doesn't matter either way. Sure, we'll take you. So be going Purity of Lightning over Grace. Grace what? Grace Rallying Cry.
Be back.
All right. Oh yeah, he has Holy Relic.
But I serve only him.
That's also some good regen. All right, let's check Echo Forge versus Void versus Rakiatas. I think Rakiata should be in the 1D range. Yeah, 1D. But we care about the elemental damage, so 2D to get a decent one is corrupted, so you can't implicit it, or not implicit, but something like this isn't bad. It's almost max roll flats. Attack speed is kind of on the lower side, but like it's fine. Who cares? Now let's see Echo Forge. One D sword by chaos damage. Not that obviously. 4D for the best one, but then this is the first 2D one. It's a lot of flat chaos. Plus this also gets converted to chaos, so it's even more flat chaos. with Unholy Might. We also get access to Wither, which would be really nice to increase the amount of damage you're taking. Chaos Res is obviously other than that, there's also Reddit. Path of Exile. I opened the Legion while fighting the Merc, and now the Legion mobs are allies. Lamau. Holy, that is dub. Grinding gear. Grinding gear. Lamau. Is this how people have been losing their accounts, like losing shit lately? Anyways, our Path of Exile, I'm searching for Envy. So 234 to 328 for attacks, and then this for spells. I heard local identity was in the comment section, but anyways, this Chrome Mistress would also give a whole bunch of flat chaos to Echo Forge, making it so much stronger. Like literally, we'd have chaos damage, flat chaos damage in the thousands. Like if we get 800 from this, we get 800 to 900 from the sword, and we get 300 from here. We're looking at a high of 1200 before any other sources. Enemy monsters typically spawn with less chaos res, which makes chaos damage a lot more potent against them, and it's just very easy to scale chaos on, which you have easy access to Wither, which means things just take more damage from you. Like, what is it? It's 60%. Was it 60 or 90% baseline? It was 90%, right? Without any increased effects. Or alternatively, the flip side would be Rakyata's Dance. Rakyata's Dance gives us about 1100 in elemental damage. Pair that with Purity of Lightning and Ice. That gives them pseudo minus 90, minus 80 max res or res to the hits. You don't need to use pen. We have the problem of making them ailment immune that I still don't like with this tech. But you wouldn't have to worry about resistances, and in terms of flats, you could get a Wrath mercenary, which I already kind of have. A Wrath Battle Mage's Cry mercenary, or you could get I mean, Hatred would kind of sucks on Rakyatas because Rakyatas doesn't have physical damage, if I remember correctly. Something like that. So Hatred kind of just sucks. So you get Wrath for the flats, Lightning. You could, in theory, still get Anger, but I mean, you're not going to be using Purity of Fire. I think that's too much in the way of preservation for low budgets. So overall, I think you might have, I guess let's see. How much flat does Wrath give level 26? Wrath is 375 to 23,375. So it's actually a lot of flat, to be honest. Like, it's a decent amount. We'd be getting to like 160 something, and then you'd have the benefit of minus 80 res, more or less. And the only thing you miss out on is shock, which Echo Forge will have because it has this modifier. But like, that's not the biggest deal ever. But then chaos damage shocking is kind of whatever, because without would dilute the fuck out of the shock. We still have access to Lucky, so Rakiatas on the Rakiatas would still be good with Lucky amulets. This one has a much wider DPS range though, because its attack speed can vary. Its life can be negative as well. There are lots of stats that you have to get positive and it can roll negative. I think it's a Rakiata's angle. I think so. I think it's a Rakiata's angle. I think worst case scenario, we just drop purity of elements and we go for personal element immunity, and we don't necessarily worry about AG or Merc too hard anyways. Because it's more flats and it's a lower res we're going to be hitting. Like, just straight up, attacks per second is also kind of similar. Maybe not so to this guy, but it's going to be around like where this guy is 1.25. So in terms of just base weapons, I think Rakiatas would be better than Echo Forge. Yeah. I mean, either way, you can't be reflected. The only difference is with Echo Forge, AG baseline doesn't need a gem socket to become reflect immune, whereas you will on Rakiatas. You need woke early damage attacks. Okay. Let's continue leveling.
How do I keep ending up in such lovely places?
What is this dude doing?
Advance. I'm ready for you. Indecision is terribly unbecoming.
Shield crush guy, surely you don't one-shot me, right?
On guard. Delightful death.
Oh look, he actually did shield crush me and I didn't die. I think he absolutely blown up.
thaumaturgy just keeps getting the better of you, doesn't it, Vol?
Can I click? Actually,
Look at that.
once I get into the level, was it 50 something? Actually, no, it's 20 levels below. Once I get 20 levels below my main, I'm just going to use my Doriani Merc.
Use the canvas, my blade, the brush.
Wait, I can't use Doriani Merc with Rakiatas. Like, I just can't, right? So unless I remove his minus res rings and I instead give him positive 90 res or something, then that would work. Well, is there even a point in doing that?
I think it likes me. Oops, clumsy me.
We see where the mercenary is. Oh. Can I exile you?
Get on with it.
Oh, you have precision. You also have Val Lightning Arrow.
Well, haven't got all day.
Meh.
Try not to scream too much. Bleed for me. Ah, you're no fun.
Oh. Can we not do that, please? Where's Desharet Spirits? Nope. That's the way forward. That's good and fine. We need to find Desharet Spirit though, which is clearly not in this direction. Bruh. That's how close I was?
Spirits in this place. I can feel them.
Three more levels to Great Lord. I should honestly start killing more monsters just because the level penalty is not getting any better.
Choose your next move.
Ooh, kineticist.
The choice is yours.
Ace Inspiring Cry in place of Shatter Sword.
By all means, throw your light. My swift end.
Ow, 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 ow. Stop it.
Death suits you.
Dodge. My wall of zombies died and that was it.
Pity. You had potential.
I think that's my first death on this character. Oh well.
Ta-ta, not a cockroach.
I am the Rezo, the Sword King. It was here in the pits of Leopolis that I made my name.
Let his power be known!
Before I could even be considered a man.
I need more mana.
So glorious of arenas.
Ow, what the fuck? Was I a bleed?
I am the judgment of innocence made manifest.
My first falling reverend of this character. Surely you're going to have certain...
You stand at a crossroads. Choose wisely.
I'm going into Wretch Defilers. Having Zealotry is not a bad idea.
You stand at a crossroads. Choose one. Your valor is his to measure. Repent! Ah, very well. I'll march with you, but I serve only him.
I don't know that I was trying to get you in now. I don't remember choosing replace, but maybe I did. Probably did, to be honest. I wasn't paying attention. I think I saw a rare enemy here.
People of the gutters, steel your bellies, for the slaughter is at hand.
Forest Warrior is dead, but we still need to kill everyone else.
Let us see how you fare in the Grand Arena. Welcome to the Grand Arena of Theopolis. It is here that I first laid eyes upon my true purpose. Die a death worthy of applause, gladiator.
Let's try to level up, please. Thank you very much. We have this now. I'm inclined to go attack Caspi just so I can shoot charge a bit quicker. Gem level 3, which means I need decent point to be at.
What is not is your passion enough to cleanse crown? We shall see.
Oh wait, I just realized I'm level 34. No, I have no excuses. I kind of need to go buy ghastly eye jewels.
You fall short of his mercy.
That one is on me. He's attacking pretty quick, but like I could have reacted to that before I got stun locked.
Let his power be known.
I'm sorry.
Is there a way I can buy ghastly eye jewels without having to, you know, go shopping without going to trade? I'll be losing a good chunk of res, but I don't mind as much. I think I just have to go to trade. Ghastly eye jewel. Item level, weapon, armor, requirements. There we go. 34. Minion, lightning, that is my one mod. Bruh. For some reason, unbeknownst to me, people are just not responding. One second. Thank you. Do I go meet him? Of course. Of course. Thank you. So that's 2. Out of 4. We need 2 more. All right, we have stars. It's 1 second. Me go again, and then stars. It's thank you. All right, we have our raid lord. Now we just need to get Wretch Defilers. I do need to actually use Purity of Elements. Then remove all of these. Ray Spectre goes in there. We go Pierce. Added lightning is minion. I don't like minion damage this early on because minion damage reduces life, and at level 2 Ray Spectre gem we don't have much to work with. Lightning Pan. Feeding Frenzy. Let's control destruction. We kind of into like empower, so we have to figure out what else to use. Elite focus, I guess, could work. All right, those 2. Then large global 66, 66. I do need to buy Desecrates. Oh no, I don't actually. I have one here. Spell Echo. How did I forget? Oh no, I don't actually have Spell Echo until like towards the end of this act, so makes sense I don't have it. Can't you get your own? No, sadly. If I try to summon Wretch Defilers in my hideouts, the moment I log out, the instance closes and the corpses disappear. So the only way that works is if someone holds my instance, summon them, remove the gem, and they'll stay on the ground. Oh no. If you remove Desecrate, this happens. If you mean like unsummon them from my main DPS gem on my main character, they also disappear. The instance doesn't hold unless there's somebody actively in there for hideouts, sadly. So I could do the character swap, but then someone needs to stand in my hideout. My IGN is at Deconic. I mean, we could try it. We could try it. So, you mean I should drop Wretch Defilers from like my main link, or I should use Desecrate? Which one? Unsocket my main link? Okay. My 3 supports are still there. Okay. Oh, that worked actually. Huh. The more you know. Thank you.
I need more mana.
Because every time I've tried that with Spectres, they typically just disappear when I use the Desecrate. But I guess if you unsocket them, they somehow stay. Far be it for me to complain. We have Pierce. We're nowhere near the level for Spell Echo, right? Spell Echo 38. Yeah, we're kind of lagging. Desecrate doesn't work. Oh, that's really good to know.
So this is what the inside of a Karoo.
Oh wait, I'm going to need Convocation. I'm going to need Convocation. I need to get in, and I need to get in now. Once I get to the waypoint, I will do it.
My innocence be broken. Advance. I'm ready for you.
Now we can technically drop these points because they're really not doing anything right now for me. Waypoint should be here. Let's go get Convocation, shall we? To me, shifts to that, and
Exile. Farewell for now.
I also need to get a four sockets glove. But I guess I could do that once I level up, or once I get Unleash, because I'm not going to use my offering until then, realistically. But I do want to start leveling it up. Same with like bone offering and the other, seeing as I'm going to use all 3 offering types.
You stain the ground with your presence. You stand at a crossroads. Choose wisely.
That's a lot of minion damage. It has no minion attack cast speed, but it has a lot of damage. In the worst case scenario, I can give my merc.
Your valor is his to measure. The code is clear. It is forfeit. Blessed are we.
Just when we thought we got out of Spectres, they pulled us back. Hey, we're almost out. We're almost out. Just a few more acts. Just a few more hours. Surely we don't actually keep the filers past that. We don't finish Act 10, think, oh, we're about to switch or change the command. Then we see we're level 64 and we have 6 more levels and I'm like, okay, just 6 more levels. And then I played the filers until like level 80. Surely that has no way of happening, right? Like it just can't happen. I will make the decision to just keep going until I can use my level 84 bases.
That's what you get for losing your temper. It's not every day that you walk into a living room.
Just to show my resolve on leaving Spectres, I'm actually not going to put skins on them, even though this white skin bothers me. Like I know they look like actual Spectres, but like I don't know if it's the trail they leave or something, but like there's just something about it I don't like.
You know this won't end well for you.
Gigantism, Pirandas. But that reminds me, I actually can give him a, what's the name without that belt? Holmes Binding. Anyways,
Death it is then. You win, but you've no idea what that's worth.
leveling through campaign with defilers. Shit is so easy.
You're either a client or I only get one shot at this. Choose wisely.
Abyssal Cry, Viper Strike, Malevolence. There would have been a universe where like
You're finished. It's yours. So says the code.
where I would have used you if I was going poison. Especially if I was going poison, change the command. But alas, I am not.
Might of his hand.
Yeah, this fight always reminds me that I need to switch to this mastery real quick, because I need all that CDR.
Happy for me, sister. It's not often we get to erase our failures.
Yeah. Without the CDR, that beam goes over them if you at least once or twice, and then it ain't pretty. It is not pretty seeing your specters get corrupted blood like that. Wipe out your entire army.
It seems they're underestimated part.
I mean, I'll move on. I only get one shot at this. Choose one. Oh, this won't take long. Ah, as you wish.
You make such lovely material. Give it to Grace.
I'm trying to remember if this was the same order I got them in on day one, because I think day one of this league I was so thrown off by their positioning, because I think they were kind of mixed up. If Dodri is here, then it's a flipped order. If this is Malachi, this is Maligar, so this is the order I'm used to. Day one of this league I ran into them in separate positions. Like Chevron, I think, was at the right. Dodri was up here, and I think Malachi might have still been here, or something like that. Some weird positioning that just completely threw me off from the three of them. And that was the first time I was ever getting that order.
Expecting you, witch. You and I are about to create the most beautiful of nightmares together. Will you go to bed now, little girl? Or do I need to tuck you in?
Now it's might of his hand.
What?
Now, Exile.
Sometimes I forget just how much power I should have twinking, especially when I compare this to like how I was before the Raid Lord setup, and it's like night and day, even though it's still 6 links. That's just how strong Regifilers are as a baseline. This thing doesn't care that I'm standing on it, right? Do I really have to move? Other things would just move me. I guess I do.
Let us see if you truly understand what it means to be Nightmare. I gave my life. Nightmare gave me so much more. Accept the gift of immortality. Why are you so in love with death?
Dude, you take too long to die. Do you know this? Realistically, I could have just teleported, like use a portal, yoink myself out of there. All right, so first we go to Tasuni, because he has a level reward for me, or a point reward for me. What the fuck is this cape? What the fuck is this cape? Quick question. What's your cape? All right. Spell Echo.
They all leave me.
No golem matters. Hmm. Hmm. Iconic Admiral? Is that the name of this MTX? Admiral. I think we actually stay away from this for now. Let's get some sources of flat life because we actually have none. I'll leave that in for now. Oh, admiring. Yeah, I differ out because like that cape kind of looks cool. My first time seeing it, I think.
You'll find no faith here.
I can always appreciate a good MTX when I see one, especially when it's not common. These guys are also not doing anything for me immediately, but we'll get some more live. Oh yeah, spell echo. Spell echo in place of what?
I'm going to show them how right they
Elite focus right now.
Your reckoning is at hand.
when I'm ready and not before.
Realistically, Feeding Frenzy is not the best support for them. But I kind of like having the aggressive while leveling.
Your body is the canvas. Choose to fight.
It probably means in some places I just will not need to worry about them keeping aggro or not.
Is that all? I expected so much more.
All right, let's see how fast we can go through Act 5, shall we?
Seems there's a rebellion on. How quaint.
Ha! Blood isn't the only.
An egg and thank. Remember, we do this for freedom.
Life lightning rush, sure. Realistically, I should have replaced my rings, but I just haven't yet. And now my attack speed is pretty good.
Your reckoning is at hand.
But I guess not just my attack cast speed, but my Quicksilver uptime is a lot better now.
Thaumaturgy and science combined. That's rather clever.
By the ire of innocence, I did. You stand at the crossroads.
All right, guy.
Wisely.
I am. Oh. I'm gonna hire this guy. Oh shit, that is a good looking one. But I'm going to hire you because you have Battle Mage's Cry. You're going to replace the War Priest. Nah, we're going to replace who I currently have. Because
It is done. The judgment is yours to make.
I don't want to have 3 Fallen Reverends. Of course, I can't forget Rizek because his Rizek, the fall. But
You have prevailed, so be it.
there's no point in giving him this one when he already has this and that. I feel like there's a point in using it myself.
Look at these beauties. Perfect for my collection. These people have no idea their time is almost up. When I'm ready and not before.
If we could get Reg Defilers in campaign, minion leveling would be a whole different ball game. Which I guess is why we can't get it, you know. Like it's one of those decisions you see and you're like, yeah, I get why. Like I get it. We're now at 1,000 life, and now we can go for more damage.
I swore they would suffer for exiling me, and I always keep my promises.
I'll never wear chains again, Titan or otherwise.
Isn't he the guy that has the chain hook or something? Man just started wearing chains and then decides to make a chain his weapon.
Something's here. Something different.
Your reckoning is at hand.
All right, we have this, so now we'll just go for this guy. Maybe we'll go for some minion leech to keep them alive until I'm ready to. Nah, I think the minion regen is enough.
Your damn choice.
This guy is still going to be good. Over Battle Mage's Cry, probably not.
Come here, little piggy. Crack the whip. It's yours.
The world must be cleansed of impurity.
Let's start with you, shall we?
10% shock. Oh, we're not using Eddie Focus anymore. So like here is one of the places where Feeling Frenzy just feels really good to have. Innocence. Teleport back, please. Thank you. I need to be running Wrath myself. Now I no longer need clarity, so I can actually drop it. And in its place, I can go... I can go Wrath in its place. I was going to get Wrath.
What in damnation have you done?
Then the Templar here would be like, what in damnation have I done?
I like it.
Like, my guy was regretting about the witches. Like, yeah, like it's like it's. I mean, I said I'd make them pay. They're paying. I don't see the problem. This wasn't how I saw them paying, but like, I mean, who am I to decide how they will pay? They were just they're paying. That's what matters.
When I'm ready and not before. Should have been of my making.
So now we have to do ossuary and whatever the other side zone is.
Had I the time,
Reliquary.
raise an endless legion from these bones. Pity.
Your reckoning is at hand!
You look soft. Hurry up and decide. I'll own you yet. Grab the whip. You're lucky I was going easy.
The more I feel of divinity, the more I want it.
Next up, reliquary.
Just what I needed. Hurry up and decide.
Really, bro?
Best. The strong take what they want. So go ahead.
Everything dies.
You know what I should be doing? I should be leveling up an AG gem. That's a smart thing to do. And if I don't forget, I will be buying one next time I'm in my hideout. And now the smart thing to do is to go to my hideout to buy one. So I'm just going to do it now if I forget. Because I know myself, I'm going to finish Act 5, forget. All of a sudden, I'm in whatever act without an AG. You know, I've still never opened those safe doors in this reliquary. From what I've heard, to actually open them, you're going to need to like open chests around the vault and stuff like that, and that just seems like a lot of work.
Thank you. You deserve once Kitar, not all. For freedom.
Unlike some, I simply. Toodles.
All right. We'll quickly just get Leech. Oh wait, no, Leech is a defensive. Back to the reliquary, then we go kill Kitava. Pretty sure that's all the bonus XP or quests I need to do so far, so we just go kill Kitava and call it for Act 5. And all the under leveling we're doing before we got our specters is a thing of the past now. Now we're at the zone level, and very soon we're going to be a level higher even.
Advance. I'm ready for you.
All right, Kitava, let's go.
Let me devour your heart.
Man looks like he just ate the biggest shock of his life, but it's just 7%. Lol. What the fuck is this? Gargoyle?
When I'm ready, and not before.
He does one move, phases, one move, phases, one move, phases, one move. All right, give us your affliction, and then we can dip. I go.
The flame of hope may flicker, but it cannot be extinguished.
That corpse looks like one of those citizens, but just corrupted. Probably is, to be honest.
Remember?
All right, and that's Act 5. That was very quick, thanks to Defilers. Very quick Act 5, but this is going to be it for today. What the plan is for tomorrow is we have a bunch of leveling, but I think I'll do a large chunk of that off stream, and then by the time I actually go live in the ideal universe, I'll be in like Act 10. And And then once I'm done through with the campaign, I will do some maps, try to get myself to level 70 for the chains of command, which is, it's still annoying that it's that far in, but like, what can we do, right? So I'm going to do that, and then I will also make up my mind on what I want to do in terms of early budget. I think I'm leaning to Rakiatas, because I do suspect that never suspect, and I know treachery is kind of on the cheaper side now. I think it's a very straightforward setup, and we end up tankier as a result of scaling damage in that version. So like, why not? So yeah, we'll probably set up the Rakiatas version, try to get the base, like the try to get it set up on like a cheapish budget, not because I can't afford it, but because I kind of want to see how it performs on that budget, and then eventually we just upgrade. But first things first, tomorrow we try to get to level 70 for Chains of Command, and we try to respec into Chains of Command, and we get a feel for what the Rakiatas feels like with minus 80 rares and all of that. But anyways, appreciate y'all. Thank you for stopping by. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, have a good night.